It's November, and that means that all the roller coaster announcements for 2023 have been made, unless a new one sneaks in. Nevertheless, the Roller Coaster Database, or RCDB, has reported that over 20 coasters in North America are being constructed and set to open next year. Even though that may sound awesome, some of these roller coasters have yet to make official announcements, some are located in small local parks, and some are mountain coasters. After taking all of those off the list, here are my top 12 roller coasters set to open in North America 2023. My name is Avery, and this is United Coasters. Before we begin, let's look at the honorable mentions, just like how I always honorably mention for you to subscribe. Look, I'm trying here. Starting off, we have Hot Wheels Unleashed and Bone Shaker. Hot Wheels Unleashed and Bone Shaker are the two roller coasters opening day one at Mattel Adventure Park in Glendale, Arizona. These two coasters are both created by Chance Rides, with Bone Shaker being tamer for the younger enthusiasts, and Hot Wheels Unleashed offering a more extreme ride. There isn't that much on Bone Shaker except for that we know that it's made by Chance Rides, but Hot Wheels Unleashed is reported to be a Chance Rides Hyper GTX, just like Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom, but this one comes with a launch and 3 inversions with the track going both indoors and outdoors. Next is a newly announced Wild Mouse coaster coming to Cedar Point. Seeing that this is a Zamperla Wild Mouse with a twist due to the new layout and spinning cars leads me to believe that this may be interesting, but we all know this is filler for the next major roller coaster coming to this park. Lastly, we have Primordial, Lagoon's newest coaster at Farmington, Utah. This coaster remains a mystery because it's been over a few months since the park began construction. Despite a few construction updates and fan creations of the coaster, we all had to wait for the official announcement to see what's what. Starting off my official list, at number 12, we have Arctic Rescue at SeaWorld San Diego. This triple launch Intamin family coaster is a nice addition to this park. Despite having Manta in the same park with nearly similar specs in speed and height, Arctic Rescue brings a new seating format to a multi-launch on the West Coast. The Stratocoaster design is just starting to become popular with SeaWorld parks, and it never hurts to get another coaster that is capable of being fun for the whole family. Number 11 shares the same train design that Arctic Rescue has, but differs drastically after that. Dark Coaster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg is a new indoor roller coaster with 4 launches, switch tracks, and visual effects galore. This edition, and Arctic Rescue will be the newest straddle coasters in the world, with the first being Wavebreaker, the rescue coaster at SeaWorld San Antonio. With Busch Gardens Williamsburg only having Invader and Grover's Alpine Express as the only non-extreme coasters in the park, Dark Coaster is a much needed addition, and I have to admit that I'm a sucker for special effects on a ride, so I'm excited to see what this park can do with this coaster. Speaking of SeaWorld San Antonio, we go there to check out coaster number 10, Catapult Falls. Most ride enthusiasts are considering this ride to be just a flume ride. I mean, even the Roller Coaster Database doesn't have this listed, but SeaWorld classifies this ride as a flume coaster. With that being said, this is a first of a kind ride with a launch and vertical lift, and you can bet that I'll be there opening week to see if this becomes the next big thing for water coasters. And hopefully, it's better than the current option we have there with Journey to Atlantis. Number 9 is Flying Viking at Adventureland in Altoona, Iowa. This is a Zamperla Junior coaster that interacts with a new log flume ride also made by Zamperla that presides underneath the coaster called Draken Falls. These rides come with a new area to the park and with that a new Viking theme. I hope that they put in a dueling aspect for the rides, but if not, it would still be cool to see a log flume underneath you as you ride a roller coaster. It's amazing to see Palace Entertainment give attention to the smaller parks, and I'm looking forward to see what comes next for Adventureland. Number 8 is Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood. This is the 10th coaster and the park's biggest purchase for a roller coaster at $25 million. This Vekoma multi-launch roller coaster looks to offer an amazing experience for families. I love the theming, the premise of onboard audio is a huge plus, and the amount of space this roller coaster has is breathtaking. This wraps around the new Wildwood Grove expansion, meaning that you'll be able to see it wherever you are in that area. The main attraction for Wildwood Grove aims to be a crowd pleaser at Dollywood. At number 7, it's Zambezi Zinger at Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, Missouri. This is a new hybrid coaster created by GCI that pays homage to the older ride by the same name created by Schwarzkopf. Out of all the family coasters on this list, this seems to be the most interesting with that twisting lift hill on a wooden structure. With a 45-mile-per-hour top speed, this looks perfect for young coaster enthusiasts as well as a better option for a transitional thrill coaster that Worlds of Fun desperately needed. This will also be a great chance to experience a ride with the new Titan track that GCI made, although it's only used on that 74-foot twisting lift hill and turnaround near it. Either way, I'm glad this ride doesn't focus just on the lift hill and looks to give out a quality ride experience with some twists and turns digging into that terrain. We go to Disney World in Orlando for number 6 with Tron Light Cycle Run. This is a cloned ride to Tron Light Cycle Power Run at Shanghai Disney, with both being created by Vekoma. Tron Light Cycle Run is on track to become the fastest roller coaster at Magic Kingdom. And like I said, I'm a sucker for good theming, and since this coaster is based on one of my favorite movies, I cannot wait to see this thing in action. Just like other Disney rides, the creations of new roller coasters here take my breath away, and I love the look of the ride as well as the structure of the canopy, especially at night. I know that Tron Light Cycle Run will be a must ride for anyone going to this park. Starting the top 5, we have Palindrome at Codaland in Austin, Texas. This is the only Gerstlauer Infinity shuttle coaster in North America. Along with that, this has some crazy elements on this ride. Starting with the near vertical twisted drop and doing a 0G roll over a road, twice. Not to mention the most insane element, the vertical hop stall. This element looks to give out a thrill as the ride descends to start the backwards portion. Now you may be wondering, how does it go all the way back when it has a vertical lift hill? Well, on the return trip, Palindrome loses speed enough for the ride to valley out before reaching the top of the first drop, and the turntable is used to bring the ride back into the station. Overall, this is a perfect start to a new park, especially since cars entering the park will have to drive underneath the coaster as the ride does that 0G roll. My number 4 is Circuit Breaker, the newest ground-up Vekoma tilt coaster and the only tilt coaster in North America. The eye grabber on this ride is the first drop, where the coaster locks into place as the track transitions to 90 degrees and releases the coaster to traverse the rest of the track. And once again, I am so glad the gimmick is not the only thing this ride has going for it, as the layout of Circuit Breaker is just insane. It's got inversions, it's got tunnels, 2 of them, and it's got some great pieces of airtime. I know that I may be hyping this up a bit, but since I'm only less than 2 hours away from this park, I cannot wait to ride this new generation Vekoma roller coaster next year. Going back to Florida for number 3, SeaWorld Orlando unveiled its new 2023 roller coaster, Pipeline the Surf Coaster. This is an old B&M ride model called the stand-up coaster brought back to life by the same manufacturer. Out of all the roller coasters on this list, this could be the only flop because it's an entirely new coaster model. The caveat to this is that it's from a tried and true manufacturer. Speaking more for the park, Pipeline will be the 7th coaster here and the 4th B&M roller coaster. This makes SeaWorld Orlando the park that holds the most roller coasters created by B&M. With that being said, I hope that Pipeline's bouncing seats can create a different experience compared to Kraken in the same park. Either way, I guess we'll have to wait and see what Pipeline has to offer. This next roller coaster's hype has died down a little bit, but I'm still eagerly excited to see Air Force One at Fun Spot America Atlanta, located in Fayetteville, Georgia. To say that this roller coaster is going to turn some heads when it opens is an understatement, especially since it's located right next to the highway. Air Force One is a ground-up RMC hybrid coming to a park that currently only has 2 roller coasters, and those are for families. This is truly amazing because adding an extreme RMC to such a small park opens the door for other small parks to get that main attraction to raise attendance. Going back to Air Force One, the coaster sports a patriotic color scheme with red, white, and blue. The layout is so unique, starting with the first drop supported on a truss that goes into a dive loop that starts off axis. This leads into the iconic 0G stall that goes parallel to the first drop. The 2 elements that I'm excited about is the barrel roll that goes right over the arcade and those ending bunny hills that look to give out some great ejector airtime. Air Force One aims to be the coaster magnet for Fun Spot next year. Alright, I think my list is done for all the major rides announced this. Oh, yeah. How could I forget about the newest and possibly last major coaster announced for the 2023 season? Let me introduce you to Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. This is yet another coaster from RMC, but this time it's a hybrid conversion of an old GCI wooden coaster, Wildcat. Just like with almost all conversions, RMC turned this old Woody into a monster. They increased the height of the initial drop via the truss structure by 40 feet, extended the track length by about 300 feet, and added 4 inversions, which means Wildcats Revenge has the most inversions on an RMC in the US. This coaster will also hold a world record for the largest step-up underflip. Along with Candemonium, Skyrush, and Fahrenheit in the same park, I cannot wait to see Wildcats Revenge stunning red track and black supports gracing Hershey Park's skyline next summer. If you watched this far into the video, I hope that I'm worth a like, and that you consider subscribing to this channel. I plan on going out to ride some of these amazing coasters next year and making reviews for the ones that I visit. Lastly, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and remember to stay united.